Hello everyone, it's the me, Game Penguin 21, and today, well, looks like it's time to tackle another Harman Smith video. Now, if you didn't know who Harman Smith was before, you will most certainly know who he is now. Now, I've covered Harman Smith a number of times on this channel, but, of course, for the new people in the room, let's exactly tell you what this man is. Now, Harman Smith is one of the Nintendo fanboy extreme weirdos that just kind of, thinks that Nintendo is God, and Nintendo does everything, and, there is no other game in the industry, or even any other company in the industry that comes close to them because they are God and they can do nothing wrong. According to them, at least. Now, obviously, most people would think that that's not the greatest take to have, myself included. I think that they're a good company, absolutely. Nintendo is fairly good at what they do, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that they don't make the greatest decisions all the time. See above in some of my other videos. Now, what is he talking about this time? Well, he's talking about PC gaming and Steam. Oh boy, looks like we're going to have another banger on our hands. But before we get into that, I do want to mention that I am again looking to hit 1K subscribers by the end of this year. We are now past the 900 mark. Thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed. You are awesome, you are loved, and I appreciate you coming to my little channel here. Number 2, if you want to listen to any of my music or want to come and see me live stream for whatever reason, both of those links are in the description below for the Bandcamp for my music and to the twitch.tv/GamePenguin21. Both of those in the description. Come by, check it out. I usually stream on the weekends for the most part. So yeah. In any case, I think that that'll about do it for the intro. Let's get started.
I have spent the last 2 days doing nothing but playing games on Steam. That's right. I got my high-end gaming PC set up. I downloaded a bunch of games. I was searching through the libraries. I was looking at the Steam store. I was looking at the Steam sales. I was looking at upcoming releases. I was sitting there for hours and hours and hours trying to find something to play on Steam. And once again, there was absolutely nothing. Within 2 days, I had played basically everything I wanted to play, right? Doom Eternal, Tales of Arise, right? And that's basically it, right? And of those two, the only one that was any good was Tales of Arise, right? So Tales of Arise is the only good game on Steam, is my understanding of this situation. There's nothing else to play. Nothing. Steam is a complete joke. Doesn't have Unicorn Overlord, doesn't have Princess Peach Showtime, doesn't have, another Code R or Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I have had so many good, alright games on Nintendo Switch this year, and Steam doesn't have a fraction of that.
I like how he lists off most of the examples that games he actually likes, and all of those games are quote-unquote Nintendo Switch exclusives. Now, of course, to anyone who knows anything smallly minute about it, you would also know that most of those games can be emulated on the PC. And what's also really weird is that he also then just says, oh, there's no games that I want to play on Steam. And this is where I think that that's kind of a stupid opinion to have. Because, while yes, saying that this is an objective fact is awful and bad and not true in the slightest, you're trying to write off your opinion as fact, that there is nothing on Steam and that Steam is a failure because you don't like the games that are on Steam. This is one of the reasons why I still continue to cover him, because he has a lot of the same opinions that a lot of fanboys tend to have, and just seems to parrot them in a very Nintendo-centric way. This is a lot of the same mindset that I keep trying to talk about, because overall, here's one of, if not the biggest problems: expand your horizons even a small bit to think about what other games might be out there. You might have a good time and you might find your new stuff. I have recently done this because, one, I never used to be into, say, tactical shooters. But then, guess what happened? Rainbow Six Siege happened, and then I became very interested in tactical shooters. What about RPGs and stuff? Well, I think, what was it? Elden Ring was the one that got me into the Souls-like genre, and Like, there were a ton of examples that I can't think of right now, but overall, expanding your horizons even a little bit outside of your normal game genre or outside of your normal platform can help you. This is why I don't think that Harman has the big, amazing gaming PC, if he can play things like Doom Eternal and stuff. And yeah, oh no, it's technically really good to play everywhere. Yes, but that game was very optimized as well, so I am still unsure. I would really like to see and know some of the specs that he has in this amazing gaming PC that he's been touting for at least several years now, but there is nothing, so oh well.
What am I gonna play on this thing? Tekken 8 with its battle passes and its microtransactions and its censored female characters? No. Like, I'm not gonna play Tekken 8. I have good fighting games. Like, if I want to play Tekken, like, I'll just play Tekken 7. Like, I don't need Tekken 8.
Then go and do it. No one's really stopping you. It's not. I mean, I don't play fighting games. I don't know, but I mean, no one's stopping you from going to play Tekken 7 somewhere else.
Okay? Like, if I want to play a good fighting game, I'll play Soul Calibur 2. Bro, it's sad how much better Soul Calibur 2 looks, plays, and feels compared to Soul Calibur 6. Like, it's embarrassing listening to that awful voice acting, seeing these terrible character models, like, seeing, like, the world have so much less personality. Gone are, like, is the epic narration, the cool original stage design, the great the great opening cinematic, like the amazing music, Link, like the greatest character in any fighting game ever. Like, you have Geralt and 2B. Like, what a downgrade. Imagine going from Link, the greatest video game character of all time, to freaking Geralt.
I am unsure if this is actually in the game, that it being Link in the Soul Calibur 2. I am 90% certain that he's correct, because he would be the foray on the Nintendo sort of reference history, so I'm assuming he's correct. And I think I've heard it somewhere that he's in Tekken 2. Again, unsure, but we're going to go with we're going to go on the assumption that that's true. But here's the thing, right? You think that Soul Calibur 2 is better for all those other reasons and because of the character selection. If the game's still around, just go and play that game again. I also like how he's harping on the fact that he thinks that Geralt and 2B are quote-unquote downgrades when they are just like the new popular character. And yeah, again, because Nintendo didn't create them, that means that they are bad? Very odd. But honestly, I think that of the two, I can't really decide which one is actually better, because they both are really good in their own ways, but the only problem that I can see with Link is the fact that he doesn't necessarily talk. So you can just kind of project your own self into the character to make him do a reaction. So it's the same thing with, like, Gordon, or it's the same thing with Mr. Freeman, like, from Half-Life. It's the same thing, where it's like it's a silent protagonist, so you can really kind of make them do and react to the world however you think that they would react to the world. If you want a good example of this, look up Freeman's Mind. That series is bomb and fucking amazing, and I love it. Anyway.
Okay, one of the most overrated fantasy heroes in, like, the past 20 years. Okay, nobody cares about that Elric and Melibene ripoff. Nobody likes Geralt, and it's just one of those things. It's embarrassing seeing people seriously try to prop up Steam as, like, a viable alternative to Nintendo, because, like, what's the big game everyone's talking about now? Stellar Blade. That's not coming out on PC. Stellar Blade, that's not coming out on PC.
He just said the same thing twice. I wanted to point that out. He said, like, Stellar Blade not coming out on PC twice. Didn't even give a second example.
Right? Like, everyone knows that these games are going to come out, like, on PC eventually, but the fact that you have to wait a year, like, you really are just better off buying a console, right? Unless you're like me and specifically primarily buy Nintendo games, like, there is no reason to own a gaming PC. Like, like, the gaming PC works for me because it allows me to avoid the hardware that I hate, right? But, like, if you're just a neophyte who's just getting a gaming PC because like, oh, it has all the best games, like you are in for a rude awakening, boyo.
I like how he then decides to basically, contradict himself within the next sentence that he talks about. And I wanted to let that clip run a little bit longer because, well, he understands now why PC people themselves, talk about and discuss and use a gaming PC. It's to not have to buy consoles. Because, a lot of the games that we want and a lot of the games that are provided on the PC is good and enough for those people who want them. And if you tried a gaming PC and you're like, I don't really like it, I am unsure if you've actually tried and, gave it a good, honest college try. Because a lot of people just say that they did, buy a laptop that was kind of overpriced because laptops are a little bit more expensive than a gaming desktop of like the same caliber. That is in terms of power, I should say. But you then buy it, you experience like a lot of the worst parts of PC, and they're sometimes amplified on a laptop. It depends on the laptop, depends on who's building it, depends on a whole bunch of factors. So again, grain of salt here. But you go through all of that, and you're like, oh, PC gaming sucks, I'm going to go back to my console because that's what I wanted. It gives me the sense that you didn't actually try to experience the games and the PC world correctly. Or at least you went into it with a mindset of, I'm going to hate this and I'm just going to do this so that way people will shut the fuck up about me not having played on a gaming PC and stuff. At least, again, that's the way I feel a lot of people do it, not everyone. There isn't most definitely people out there that do that. Or I should say most people that write articles about that, I should be more clear. Most people who write articles and most people who make videos on this topic of like, oh, I went back to console gaming because PC gaming sucks, didn't actually put the time in for the PC. At least that's how, again, I perceive it, and that's the way it feels like for 90% of the time if I've seen it, and I've seen a lot of people commentary on this, so. Interesting points.
This POW world doesn't live up to the hype. Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't live up to the hype. Elden Ring doesn't live up to the hype. Like we have like new Elden Ring DLC coming out like in the next couple of months, and does anyone care? Is anyone talking about it? No.
Yes, people care. And I also like how all three of those games that he listed are games that he himself has declared to be garbage, but everyone else really, really likes it. I mean, again, you don't sell the same amount as a Pokemon game without actually having some appeal.
The game is a complete joke.
Yeah, you drink that Soylent latte thing. It looks like a Soylent from here. I don't know.
Baldur's Gate 3 is just one example of just everything wrong with PC gaming. Right? It has nothing to do with like high quality video games or good graphics or good stories or like, making games that are better for adults, right? It's just something targeted towards casual gamers, right? It is a mobile tier. Like, it is a mobile game, essentially. When you compare, like, PC gaming to console gaming, like, PC gaming has much more aligned with, like, the mobile gaming audience.
Fuck. Huh? Fuck. How? Like, no, seriously. If you can legitimately answer this question, I would be surprised. Saying that the PC has more in common with mobile gaming, that is probably the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard in my entire life. He basically just said, hey, this phone with fixed hardware that is essentially, less powerful, less game variety, less this, and has a lot of apparent shovelware, is the same as a completely customizable platform that allows you to upgrade it over time with a ton of games that a lot of people tend to make that are actually more good than anything. And yeah, certainly there's shovelware on it, right? As well as a couple of different problems that can be caused by hardware and software problems, but everything has that because technology, which is not really a dig against the PC, just kind of happens a little bit more frequently. And by a little bit, I mean like 2% more, if that. Overall, those two are equivocal. That just blows my mind that anyone would even think that that's true. But let's see his answer to this.
Right, because everyone just has a PC laying around. Oh, I'll just download Power World. Oh, I'll play it for like half an hour. Oh, it was the most fun I've ever had, and never touch it again. Right? That is the average PC gaming experience. Just like that is the average mobile gaming experience. Rather, like when you compare that to like how the Nintendo fan goes through games. Because this month, March, one of the best gaming months I've had in a long time. Unicorn Overlord and Prince of Peach Showtime.
And both of those games, I think, took about, 8 hours to complete for, a full $70 game, or the price point of a AAA game. I don't remember the prices here. I'm fucking stupid. I think that they're at the maximum $70, but I don't think that they are actually priced at that. I think that they don't have it. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, please. I am just so fucking stupid sometimes, but okay. And I have gone through a free-to-play game that I have kept coming back to ever since the Game Awards happened, which was the finals. I've also had Pal World, which I mostly did, and then played for several hours, and then just decided to put it down until more content's being released. By the way, the arena for Pal World is coming out very soon, sometime in the summer. And then I also have been trying to see if I could pick up other games. I've re-picked up Dying Light 2, and there's also VR games and stuff like that. And honestly, it's weird to me how he says that the PC crowd is more like the mobile gaming crowd, and not, say, the Nintendo Switch crowd, because they can actually take their stuff on the go. Well, I mean, I can just use my Steam Deck and take my games on the go to... maybe.
Fantastic games, from start to finish. I spent a weekend playing through Princess Peach Showtime, loved it, would really love to go back and play it again, and I spent several weeks going through Unicorn Overlord, which was a fantastic experience, even though it's, probably not the best game ever or anything. I enjoyed it for what it was, right? Unicorn Overlord was way better than anything coming out from any other JRPG creator. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or whatever's been coming out lately. Unicorn Overlord was genuinely good, and I really like to. I'm really excited to see what Vanillaware comes up with next. So with that in mind, when you just look at the reality of what's happening with the gaming sphere, more and more developers, more and more superior Japanese developers are refusing to develop for PC.
The audience isn't there yet. Games like, say, Helldivers 2, Pal World, and several other ones that I can think that I'm not sure if they're very recent, had a lot of sales on the gaming PC. And the Nintendo Switch doesn't get, a lot of games, so it's there's just... Bye. I think it's just going to repeat himself, so there's 2 minutes left of this video, but I want to call it there because, quite honestly, that's enough. And I think you get the general idea as to what he's basically going to... That's what his basic arguments were. That, one, there's no games and things on Steam, which is completely untrue, and, everyone knows it. Two, the audience for Steam doesn't exist, or the audience for PC gaming doesn't exist, so console or... game developers are skipping it, even though there's a lot more multi-platform games, and there's been a lot of ports from PlayStation, one of the holdouts of PC gaming, coming over. With the biggest and finalist thing being he doesn't realize that about emulation and stuff like that, and still thinks that it's quote-unquote piracy, which, again, one does not necessarily lead to the other. It's just different. So yeah, overall, let me just be very clear here. Harman Smith has always been a very dumbo. And this video is again another testament to that. In any case, I think that'll about do it for today. I'm tired. I need some coffee. Because I'm recording this at the time when I just woke up. So this is like take 2 or 3 of this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video of I yell at a man who clearly needs some new perspective in his life. If you like, again, what it is that I do and want to support me in any way, shape, or form, link is down to the Bandcamp, the Twitch, and other places down in the description. I love you all, and again, thank you so much for watching. My name is GamePango21, and a peace. Off.